healthy is your vagina these days? Or more specifically, should we be saying, do you know how your vaginal microbiome is doing? There is a tampon that tests for your vaginal health. This is not a promotion for that tampon, but you might have seen it in the news, particularly it was covered in major newspapers. But there's a company that provides at-home sexually transmitted infection screening and a screen for issues like thrush and bacterial vaginosis. This was covered a lot back in November. Some people still find it embarrassing to get checked out by a healthcare professional if they're worried about issues around the pelvic, vulval, vaginal area, such as checking for thrush or bacterial vaginosis or both. Now, these are super common conditions, but actually sometimes you do need to go and see the doctor to get yourself investigated further, particularly if you're embarrassed about getting an STI check. Or perhaps you just struggle to fit an appointment in to go and see your healthcare professional or your doctor. Tampon, developed by a British company, is the first of its kind. It's nothing like having a swab. Essentially, you use a tampon style kit, which saves you a trip to your doctor. Now, it is quite pricey. The prices for the kit alone starts around £89 and it increases to about £120 if you want to have a chat with an expert to discuss your results. The manufacturer says that the kit looks at the vaginal microbiome, which is an ecosystem of bacteria, yeast and other microorganisms that live inside your vagina. Now, this is important because you have to think of it, as you see in this picture below, as the immune system to your reproductive tract. It contains good bacteria, lactobacilli, and disruptive microorganisms such as yeast or viruses. A healthy vaginal microbiome is one where the good bacteria keep the disruptive ones in check, preventing them from growing out of control. So have a look at this picture below and it causes an infection. A balanced microbiome has been linked to lower risk of vaginal infections, including STIs. There are several studies that show that a correlation between having a healthy vaginal microbiome gives it a lower risk of vaginal infections like thrush and bacterial vaginosis and a lower risk of getting STIs. What would I say as a GP? Well, doing a vaginal microbiome is not something I would recommend routinely unless there are symptoms or a clinical indication. Doing a test is only worth doing if it changes your management. However, redesigning the tampon, which makes testing more accessible, easy to use, and even more accurate for thrush, bacterial vaginosis, STI, will empower women for better understanding and monitoring their gynecological health. We are already doing trials of at-home HPV cell sampling for cervical screening, so this looks like a potential step in the right direction.